How are you doing? Stephen here from howtowaterfedpoleperfect.com. And what I'm talking to you today about are when customers aren't happy, or when customers aren't happy with the work that you've done, or there's something in the stage that they're not necessarily happy with. So what I'm going to give you today is a few steps beforehand, before you even go into the job, quoting for the job, and then afterwards, if there is any trouble, the best way to deal with it with customers. So first of all, before you get to the job, you might have customers that might message you, Facebook message you for quotations. They might send you a picture or other things like that to ask for a quote. But really, guys, you can't beat calling to the property, to the business, to have a look for yourself, because the windows might be worse, or if you're doing power washing or other jobs, just things can be worse than they might appear in the pictures. The customer might have forgotten to add in a certain number of windows or a certain ground floor area, or whatever it is that you're cleaning for them. It's really best to call yourself to be able to give the quote. And for instance, I'm out giving loads of quotes at the moment, and customers might not even ask me for a price. They might walk you around and say, this area, this area, this area. But before I leave, I always say to them, do you know what? Let me just write you out a quotation so that you have it. Even if they've already said, oh, you know, I'm desperate, can you get it done really quick? Just that the price is set down in stone, that they don't have a problem with it, that you're happy with it, because there's nothing worse, and I've done it in years past. Somebody is so eager to get the work done. They're delighted that you've called to give a quotation. So like, yeah, do this area, do that area, that's great. Can you be here in the next few days because I have an event on? Yeah, that's great, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that, go ahead. You put the bill in and it's, oh, I didn't think it was going to be this much, or why was it, the last guy was only da-da-da-da. So if you can have that nailed down beforehand, you just remove any sort of complications when it comes to payment time, because you don't want that awkwardness, they don't want that awkwardness. Just be upfront, have it down on paper, hand them a slip of paper. Hopefully you've got little notebooks or something done up with your logo and all that sort of gear. Hand them something like that and say, here, can we agree on this? And even state down on it what you're going to do for that price. Another benefit of going and having a good look around the place when you are pricing up the job is if you see anything that you can't do for some reason. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to, but say something's in the way of it, or something that you can't do, something that you know by looking at it from all your experience, do you know what, that's going to be far improved, but that's not going to come up perfect. That glass is steamed, that area of the floor is completely damaged, so that's not going to come up as perfect as a person wants. Or can you see there's weld marks on that window from where somebody's been working beside it and they've ruined it slightly. If you get that chance when you're walking around with the person, if you can, say to them, here look, I've just noticed this bit, or I've just noticed this bad scratch while I'm walking around. Can you see just before I start there? And the benefit of that is there's no scary comebacks at the very end, because oftentimes if a customer isn't satisfied, it's because their expectations of the job haven't been met. So if you talk up your job, if you say, oh, this is going to be amazing, this is going to be great, this is going to be great, this is going to be fantastic, and then it comes to the end and the person walks around and goes, oh, but this bit isn't great, or do you know what, that bit isn't fantastic, or do you know what, this, I would have thought this bit would have looked a bit better. If you from the very start would have created the true expectation and not exaggerated the job, let them know, do you know what, this is going to look really good, but you know what, this one bit over here might not look quite as good as the rest because of X, Y, or Z. And so it's important, if they can have the same expectation as what you have, at the same price as what you have, well then you're going to have a happy customer. So really, if they know what to expect come the end of the job, in my experience over my 15 years of business, the very, very few times that there have been unhappy customers at the end, it's because what even verbally I would have verbalized to them and said, this area, that area, for some reason in their mind, their expectation was different to the expectation that I had. So if from the start they would have had the same expectations of me, of the finished product, there would have been no conflict. So what do you do if a customer isn't happy with your job? And yesterday, I actually had that situation, and that's why I'm doing this video for you today. There was a customer. I spent the afternoon at the house, a fantastic manor house, just gorgeous, period style, amazing, with a massive conservatory on the back. The windows had to be done on the inside and outside. They were absolutely filthy, mold on the inside, filthy on the outside, using my water-fed pole system. I was there for a few hours on the job because the house is so big. I got a text from the customer at 6 o'clock, and the customer texts me simply, "Stephen, when are you coming back to finish the job? Is it tonight or tomorrow?" Now in my mind I had